The balancing in Tekken 8 right now is all over the place. The top tiers are so overtuned that it makes the mid tiers look so bad, and that shouldn't be the case in a fighting game. So with that said, I feel as though when the top tiers, or if the top tiers are nerfed, the mid and low tiers will actually be in a better place right now. I don't feel as though many characters need that many buffs in this game. However, there are some characters that are still playing like what, Tekken 6.5, they're not even playing Tekken 7, and these are the characters I want to talk about. Now these characters deserve some buffs in my opinion, at least get them above the bare minimum of what makes a character good in Tekken 8. So with that said, let's take a look at some of the characters that I feel need some huge buffs in the next upcoming update. Firstly, let's start with Leroy Smith, and man oh man, how the mighty have fallen. This is what bad reputation can do to an awesome designed character. You hate to see it, but it is what it is. So firstly, let me start by saying I don't think Leroy is as bad as everyone makes it seem to be. I believe a lot of Koreans are placing him a bit higher than at least low tier, which is pretty good in my opinion. So firstly, let's talk about Leroy's parries. Of course, we know that the system changes in Tekken 8 have affected Leroy massively. His parry game is not that great in this game. It can be countered with throws. Now throws, I mean, you can't break a throw when you land a parry. Sorry, when you're grabbed whilst doing a parry, right? So this is very bad, especially in Tekken 8, considering the fact that throws are now homing moves, right? So this completely kills off Leroy's like biggest strength, right? His parry game, and this needs to be addressed. Firstly, homing throws have to be nerfed. We've all spoken about this. Secondly, they need to add less recovery to Leroy's back too. Right now, Jin's parry is still better than Leroy's back 2, right? You can still grab him out of it, so why should he have horrible recovery as well after back 2? So that needs to be fixed as well. So like, fix his parry game and make him great. Like, he has to be like the parry god of the game, right? Make him stand out in terms of parries to most of the other characters in the game. Secondly, the fact that Leroy uses his hit gauge in the middle of combos is actually pretty bad. You're wasting your hit gauge just to do a combo. This needs to be addressed. Maybe reduce the amount of hit gauge that he loses when he does a combo, because you have to do the forward 3 1+2 into screw. As we know, the Wing Chun punches take up hit, you know, because they do chip damage, but that shouldn't be the case in a combo, bro. I'm just trying to do a combo. I don't want to waste my hit gauge just for using a screw. So fix that, please, Namco. Furthermore, the nerf of his forward 1+2 in Tekken 7, which is now forward 1+2, it's now a power crush and it's unsafe. People don't talk about this that often, but it's actually huge, because at that range, Leroy does not have a strong mid check, right? That Jin forward 2, you know, that Asuka forward 3, that Lars forward 1+2. Leroy does not have that. He only has like back 4, right? He has up forward 2, which is pretty slow. He has forward 4. All these hit like wet noodles, and honestly, you can duck at that mid range against Leroy, and it's pretty good, because he does have down back 3 and back 3, which are highs and lows, right? So he needs that power mid. You know, bring back his old, I think it was what, down 1+2 power crush? Was it down 1+2 or down back 1+2? Then make forward 1+2 a nice mid check the way it was back in Tekken 7. He's missing that good mid check, and honestly, yeah, it's pretty bad. Then I also wanted to talk about risk with Leroy when it comes to his lows. He's actually way more risky in this game than he was back in Tekken 7. Let's start with his new low, down back 3, which is pretty good. This is his best low in neutral, without a doubt. Now, the problem with this low is when it's blocked, you're stuck in stance, right? So what Leroy mains do is, if this is blocked, they'll spam parry. They'll either spam back 2 or 1 to counter the while standing punish, right? It's practically a safe low if you land the parry afterwards to, like, you know, parry the while standing for punish. But the thing is, you can be baited at high level top play. People are actually baiting this. They wait for you to do the parry, then launch your ass. So I think of it as a launch punishable low, honestly. Then his down back 4 as well was nerfed. It's now -15 and only -4 on hit, which is pretty bad. Of course, he has down 3-2, which is low high, you know. So he's a very risky character when it comes to lows in this game compared to the way he was back in Tekken 7. It's actually crazy. I was so shocked when I found myself getting launched for doing down back 3, bro. So yeah, the low game was hit really hard, so that kind of sucks. And then probably a nitpick, but I like Hermit 1+2 so much, but it's so predictable sometimes, you know. Hermit sidestep 1+2, sorry. So we spoke about him not having that power mid, right? That forward 1+2, the Tekken 7 version. So if he had that, it could have been like a pretty good mix-up situation for Hermit step 1+2. Could have been a very strong mix-up. So now you can just like Hermit sidestep 1+2 into like down forward 1, which is not that good. You can do like sidestep into back 4. He doesn't have that strong mid, right? I really wish he had that forward 1+2 to make the mix-up a little bit more scary. Now, I don't think Leroy is that bad, honestly, and it takes just a few things to make him a strong character again in this game. Just a few tweaks, and this character will be a menace. Like, he'll actually be insane. But what I want mostly for Leroy is like his identity of being the parry god. I want that back for this character. Like, just make him unique, make him different in a sense. Maybe he can counter throws somehow, I don't know, but like just try to fix that aspect about him. And lastly is his inconsistency when it comes to combos. His combos are so inconsistent, it's ridiculous. Especially his forward 3 1+2 screw sometimes just randomly misses, so I wish they could fix this. And I also like his back 3+4 to be done whilst in Hermit as well, to just expand his combos, because his combos are pretty boring, you know, they're not really that exciting. But if you could cancel Hermit or like do back 3+4 in Hermit, that would actually be pretty sick. So yeah, Leroy needs some love, and honestly I hope he does get those buffs, because yeah, he does need them heavily. Okay, secondly, I wanted to talk about Asuka Kazama. Asuka has also been hella nerfed in Tekken 8. It's pretty sad. The weird thing is she was very strong in the beta. Like, she was very strong in the beta, and the nerfs have come like really hard, because in the first beta she was, dude, she hit like a freaking truck, man. Like, I don't know why they had to hit her so bad. But firstly, I want to talk about her punishment. Her punishment has always been bad. I know that's her archetype, that's how she's meant to be, but like, just make it a little bit better, right? They took the knockdown away from 2-4, sorry, from 2-3. Like, why, man? Why? It was such a good punish, but now it just feels mediocre. Her 10 framer has never been that great. Pretty meh, it sucks. Give her a good 10 frame and just give her the knockdown back on her 2-3. And like, the nerfs honestly are just weird, right? Her down back 1 was nerfed, it's now -10. It's pretty strong because it goes under jabs, right? So now it's basically just a 14 frame punish, right? You can't really use it for like poke pressure and stuff like that. Even her side step 2 was nerfed, it's now -13. It used to be safe. Could have been a good strong safe hit engager, but they took that away as well. Down 2 is now a hit engager. It used to be a counter hit, very strong counter hit 2, tag 2, Tekken 7, right? So yeah, the nerfs have hit her pretty bad. Now, the worst thing about Asuka, in my opinion, is her damage. Her damage is bad. I don't think her damage is good, honestly, because despite having a very strong and fun hit mechanic, like, yo, like, Asuka is fun hit mechanic, like, his hit mechanic is pretty fun. Honestly, if you haven't tried, I just give her a spin. She's pretty fun. But like, dude, her hit, she feels so powerful in her hit, right? But like, everything she does, the damage does not really feel as though that's how much it should do. It's ridiculous. It just feels weird. She does like 60 damage from, you know, big ass looking hits, chunky ass looking hits. Like, I don't get it. Is it just me? But I think she's bad, man. Her damage is ridiculous compared to Xiaoyu. Xiaoyu is a mixed character, but she hits harder than Asuka. I mean, what? Yeah, so like, fix her damage. Then she also falls victim to the same issue with Leroy in terms of her parry, her big parry, you know, parries being able to be grabbed now, counter grabbed, which pretty much sucks. So yeah, that plays a huge role in how bad Asuka is right now. Yeah, so Asuka needs some love as well. My boy, my main, Steve. Now, I've made a separate video on Steve, so I won't really spend that much time on my boy, but we all know Steve is bad in this game. He needs some love. He's received too many nerfs that need reverting, right? So it's ridiculous. First of all, down back 2-3, not being a knockdown anymore, kills his war game, which sucks that bad. And the worst thing, of course, we know Lionheart is broken. It needs to be fixed, right? Kind of like Lars DE3 in a sense, but like not the way they did with Lars, but like, yeah, it needs to be fixed. So that hurts his pressure really bad. Back 2 not being a launcher, just guaranteeing a Sonic Fang is pretty bad. Like, Steve literally can't launch you unless he does up forward 2, which is risky, right? Or like a outstanding 1+2, crush down for 1+2. Like, it's so bad. I don't understand why they did this to my boy, man. It sucks. I don't want to go on a rant. I don't want to get salty about Steve because I love this man, but like, you know, no Diddy. But yeah, like, it's so ridiculous, right? Sonic Fang not being a Wasplat anymore is ridiculous. Revert that, change. This does not make sense. Doing a Sonic Fang with the opponent with back against the wall, then he just floats above the wall. Like, what the hell is that? That doesn't make sense. Just bring back Sonic Fang. There's no need for it to not Wasplat Namco. You went too hard on Steve. Down forward 2 should be counter hit again. In fact, the old version, you took away Shiro combo. Just bring back the old down forward 2 that we didn't have to actually do the Shiro combo. This would make Steve the counter hit character he was supposed to be, or he is supposed to be. He's a counter punching paragon, for crying out loud. So bring that back. While standing 2 not launching on counter hit again is pretty ridiculous, right? Dude, he's supposed to be the counter hit character. I don't know what else to say. So bring his archetype back, bro. Bring Steve back. But overall, like I said, I've done a video on Steve already. I'll put a card on the top. But like, yeah, Steve needs a lot of work. He needs a lot of love. His heat as well, dude. His heat, oh my god, his heat, dude. Like, his hit throws take up so much of his hit gauge, right? Compared to a character like Dragonov, it's either you give him a third option for the mix-up, or you reduce the amount of hit gauge that is consumed when Steve does a command grab. It's a little bit too much. Hopefully, yeah, Namco comes through with Steve, man. It's sad to see Steve in this state. Kuma, yo, oh man, the Bears, man, the Bears. I get they're like the mascot of the game and they're these like troll characters, but I don't believe they should always be bad, man. I'm tired of seeing these guys just taking up slots in the game and they're just always so bad. I know Rang Chu did the impossible, but like, he's never really done it again since then, right? It's so hard with the Bears, man. And honestly, what I want for the Bears, now I'll use Kuma as a reference because, you know, he's a cooler version. What I want for the Bears is movement, right? This is one thing Jack has over the Bears: movement and just good poking tools. Their punishment is insane, and Kuma having a gold fist in hit can make him like this, you know, sick pseudo Mishima with punishing bear with the EWGF. It can be so sick. That's one thing I really want for the Bears: movement and the risk. The risk is too much on the lows. Down back 4 is launch punishable. Down back 2 is now minus 15. That's a huge nerf, right? So just fix these small changes and I think we'll see more of the Bears. Honestly, I really want to play Kuma, but I can't get over how bad his backdash is. I think his high step is decent for a bear, for a big body, but that backdash, holy shit, bro. Yeah, just fix the movement and the Bears might see more love in this game. Raven. Oh man, the coolest character in the game by far. He is so good. Now, the problem with Raven, this might be a deeper dive because I really love this character, man. I really love Raven. He is very complicated and is a very difficult character to play. So you make a difficult character and a complicated character bad or kind of mid, right? That makes him very unpopular, like the way he is right now, and just very difficult to use and difficult to implement. So Raven needs some love, man. Raven needs some love. Firstly, like I said, he's just very complicated. He's the back turn, the cancels, the crouch dashes, like, yeah, it makes sense as to why he's so cool, but like very unpopular. It's so sad. Like, yeah, he needs some love, dude. So firstly, let's talk about the lows. Now, on paper, Raven's lows are bad, and honestly, they are. Like, you don't really get an advantage after using his plus or his lows. Like, every time you throw out a low with Raven, you basically lose your turn. It's either it has no frame data, or the frame data is bad, or it's reactable. Like, down 4 is minus what? Minus 2. Down full crouch, sorry, crouch dash down forward 3 or crouch dash 3 is launch punishable on block, and it's also minus on hit, so you don't really get those plus frames. Down back 4 is plus 4, which is pretty good, but it's reactable. Quarter circle forward 2 is plus, but it's reactable. So you have this thing of you can't really continue your pressure with Raven, but it makes sense because of how you play. This character is a mix-up character. You can be so deceptive with like crouch dash, mess up your timing on the lows, you know. But that depth is what makes him very, very difficult to play, honestly. But like, dude, I don't know what they can do with his lows, but like just make some of them a little bit less risky, because he's a very risky character as well. You know, his strongest lows or his best lows are, you know, full crouch down forward 3+4 and soul zone 4, but they're all launch punishable. Even full crouch down forward 3, his new low is pretty good, but it's kind of like Leroy, right? If they block it, you can do a parry, but like if they bait you, they can launch it. So he is a very risky character, not even mentioning the fact that you can get stuck in back turn and you can get like punished really hard. So just reduce the risk factor on this character. He is so risky. Maybe make soul zone 4 like minus 14 only, or even 13. you know, something like that, right? Something like that. The thing about Raven is his best law, like I said, is the full crouch down forward 3+4, his quicksand or the tornado spin law. And did you know that if the opponent holds forward for the tech row on the ground, every option misses. Every option misses from this Oki, which is pretty ridiculous. So this has to be fixed. This makes Raven just below mid tier in my opinion. He's a pretty low character after this, but if this is patched, he can get his strength back. But this is a huge, like, it's a huge nerf, bro. Like, it's a huge exploit. It needs to be patched, like, it needs to be fixed, dude. Like, it's ridiculous. Think of his full crouch low as Devil Jin's Hell Sweep, right? It's like his most important tool. We revolve his mix-ups around this law, so yeah, it needs to be fixed. And like his shadow clones, let's talk about his shadow clones, right? I feel as though the first time I saw the shadow clones, I thought they were plus, right? But actually -3, and the fact that throws right now are homing, and they have counter throws as well. Like, it beats a lot of his options after he's trying to do this pressure, because it's -3, right? So you can check him. So I would want his hit clones to be at least 0 on block, or at least +1. 0 or +1 can be better than -3. He's in hit, he has to have those ridiculous plus frames like Xiaoyu, like Laz, you know. He needs that. I think his pressure is good, but like, dude, there's nothing that screams strong with Raven right now. Like, nothing seems OP with this character. You have to work. Like, you have to work your ass off. And yeah, he needs some love. He's too complicated, he's too risky. Like, complicated, he's hard to use and risky at the same time. So yeah, just, dude, he needs some love. He needs some love. Overall, guys, these are some of the characters that I feel need some love in this game. I don't think there are other characters that are this bad or like need this much attention. You know, every character seems to be in a good place except the overtuned characters, but the mid tiers are like super strong. And like I said, as soon as the top tiers are nerfed, right, everyone will start shining in this game. Characters like Brian, like Claudio, like Shaheen, bro. These characters are gonna shine, and it's gonna be crazy when the top tiers are nerfed. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. So anyway, these are the characters I feel need the most love. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Am I right? Am I wrong? Y'all let me know. Thank you guys. GG, and may the frame data be ever in your favor.